Hello everyone, welcome to Crossing Over, a program that brings you the recent headlines in Chinese press. And every program, every edition we have a great guest for you, someone to comment on these news clippings. And today we have someone very special who actually hasn't been in China for that long. He is a Fulbright scholar in China. And please welcome Jon Brilliant.
Hi.
Hi, Jon.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
How long have you been here by now?
I've been here about 4.5 months.
In order to test how localized a person is, it's food, of course, in China. It's like we love eating.
Yes.
So the question is, can you deal with Chinese breakfast?
That is a very good measure.
Are you still toast and fried egg and or cereal, or can you actually deal with Chinese breakfast?
I can deal with it when it's good. And I think that I will eat baozi in the morning. I will eat youtiao. I will have soy milk. Those are fine. If I'm doing my own shopping, I'll probably prepare something Western. But if I'm out in the morning and there's Chinese breakfast, that's fine.
Recently, in Chinese press is, guess what? KFC is localizing. Here we go. Just recently, very recently, this is from the Metropolitan News, Oriental Metro section. It's late January, starting mid-January. KFC is going to sell youtiao.
Well, that is a smart move on their part.
You think?
I think, having seen what KFC does here, they sell those little cakes already, the little custard pies, which they don't even sell in the States. And in Taiwan, in Beijing, in Shanghai, I've seen those be so popular. KFC, in some ways, is more popular in China than in the US.
But isn't it, we always thought, like, it's nice for, like, if I have people who's their first time in China, and not very internationalized people, and we're going to get a lot of people like that, because China is becoming more and more a tourist attraction. A lot of first-timers are going to come here. When they see, like, these fast food signs, they think home food or something familiar, and they would go there. But if they start serving, like, youtiao and stuff like that, wouldn't that kind of destroy that image?
I think if they started serving exclusively that, it would be different. But already, I mean, there's fried chicken in Chinese cuisine anyway. KFC is sort of unique in that way.
That's true.
If McDonald's were to sell, I don't know, like a duck burger or like a kaoya, like sampler, that would be...
You shouldn't say that on TV. You should keep it and sell it, the idea to...
I don't want anything to do with fast food market at all. Let them make their money their own way.
Let me ask you this. You live in Shanghai. Are you associated with university, or if you're on a Fulbright, do you need to go to classes, or?
You don't have to go to classes. I have an affiliation actually in Beijing at the Central Academy of Fine Arts. But my research
takes me to
Shanghai.
The reason I ask is that Chinese education system is going through this kind of reform, and everything is changing. And there are a couple of things that's really been like very, very hot local news, because education is a big thing. So what we have, first of all, is that they're saying from Xinmin Evening News is that this year there are 82,000 less Chinese applied for graduate studies in China. It used to be a lot of people apply for graduate studies. The report is saying that because if you go to graduate school, you spend all this time, your parents' money or your own money or whatever, and you get a graduate degree, it doesn't mean that it's going to be easier for you to find a job.
Right. I think there's been recent changes. One of the big problems, and it's different here, is that graduate school in the United States is very expensive, and a lot of the times you just spend many years paying off debt. And usually if you have a high degree in something, sometimes the only job available to you is teaching. If you have a PhD, my field is art history, and you could work as a curator, you could work in a museum, or more likely you can teach and do research. And these are not high-paying things.
Do you find a lot of that among your peers in China? Like they're more into like being successful, ambitious, making a lot of money rather than to be academically interested in something?
It really depends. And it's always funny if you find out why someone started to learn Chinese or why they came here. I'm here because I started Chinese. After I started, I just fell in love with it. And I wanted to speak it and I wanted to read it. And so I came to China a lot. So many people who come maybe they don't speak any Chinese. They come here, they start a company, and they're like, I'm gonna get this cash cow, and I don't always have a lot of in common with these people.
Bucket of gold.
Right, exactly. See, we're at the end of the rainbow here.
But, you know, the Chinese students are doing the same thing. You know what Chinese college students are getting in physical education? Which also, by the way, is part of our headline news. It's big debate. Golf. Can you imagine? They're teaching golf as part of the college phys ed program. So do you play golf?
I do not play golf. I should learn how to play golf if I wanted to be successful. If I were that goal-oriented person, I would learn how to play golf, and then when my boss invited me out to play golf on a Saturday after work, I could play, let him win, garner his favor, and then, you know, be really successful in the company. But I have very bad motor skills.
That's the debate here, actually, in the Chinese press, is that golf is like a social sport. It doesn't really build your physique, so to speak. It doesn't exercise your muscles or anything. It's more like a leisure sport type of thing, and it's not suitable for college. So even though students, and when you ask, in this article it says when you ask most people why they take golf, it's exactly for that, because they think successful people play golf, and so in order to hang out with successful people, they want to learn golf, and they can play golf well. It's the social networking thing rather than for sports. So a lot of like people are honestly questioning the value of offering golf courses. We're going to continue to talk about Chinese education because there's a big scandal in Chinese university. It's called Yangfan Gate. And we picked up the word gate from all the Watergate, whatever, you know, the gate incidents in the States. So this is Yangfan Gate. But we're going to take a short break right now. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Jon Brilliant, continue to talk to Jon Brilliant, a Fulbright scholar, about the scandal of Yangfan Gate in the Chinese education system. Don't go away.
The teacher would call my cell phone if I missed class saying, you must be really sick. If you didn't come, you must be in big trouble or really sick, because no way would you just blow off my class.
Hello, John. Where were you today? Welcome back to Crossing Over. We're sitting here talking to Jon Brilliant, a Fulbright scholar who has been in China, in Shanghai, for 4.5 months. We're talking about the Chinese education system. And the latest scandal, this is from a Oriental Morning News, is Yangfan Gate. Now, what happened is that at the Chinese Law and Administration University, there's this professor whose name is Yang Fan. And he teaches a course, and apparently that course is so